Earlier this year, we built a simple router that attaches to the bench with a single peg. It's quick, compact, and easy to make, but we never made a fence for it. In this video, we're fixing that. We'll build a simple fence that's fast to put together, and even better, it flips. One side works like a standard fence. Flip it over, and you've got a jointer fence that's perfect for safely cleaning up small stock. Stuff you'd never want to risk on a jointer. Let's get started. I'll be showing you two different fence setups in this project, the basic fence and the jointer version on the opposite side. Before we dive in, make sure your router table is already built. This project assumes you've got that part already done. I'll leave a link in the description that will take you to the router table, as well as the materials and tools needed to make the router fence. That way you can get everything in one place so that you can easily follow along. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the basic fence. I've designed it so that it pivots on a single bolt, which makes it much easier to align the router bit later on. To get started, we're going to cut a groove right through the center of this plywood using the table saw. That'll give us the clearance that we need for the studded knob that we'll use later on. So let's go ahead and head over there now. The blade's been raised so that it's a thickness of a 5/16 bolt. I will be cutting this right in the center, so about 3.5 inches. I'll make a cut, move over, make another cut, and then make another cut until my bolt fits in there snug. Now that I've got my groove cut out, I need to place a hole in this for my pivot. I will be using a threaded wood insert for this, and what I'm going to do is find the center of my square. This is 8 inches, so I'm going to come in here at 4 inches, and now I'm going to find the center of this. So 2 inches, I'm going to come in here at 1 inch. And we're going to drill this out at 3/8 of an inch, which will fit our 5/16 threaded wood insert. Because of the way that my table is, because there's just the two supports on the bottom, I'm going to grab a piece of plywood like this that will basically hold it in place. I cut off the head of a hex key so that this will fit in my drill press. I'm just going to place my threaded wood insert in here and then press down until I get it in the hole. And then I'm just going to spin this. Make sure that I get it straight. I'll push down with the drill press arm at the same time. Now, if you're having problems with this like I am right now, just back it out. And the problem that I'm having is just getting that cap inside the base. So I'm just going to use a countersink bit to get me a little bit closer inside that hole. I'm going to see if I can muscle this in. And there we go. Right below the surface. Now I need to step back from the fence for a second. I'm going to make the knob that will fit on the top. I'll take the square block and I'm going to use a square on this to find the center. The head of my hex nut is 1/2 of an inch, so I'm going to drill this out at 1/2 of an inch. I'm going to probably go down maybe about halfway. Follow that up with a 5/16 spade bit. Now what's nice about this is that the hex bolt will fit right inside of that hole, but I need to train it first. So what I'm going to do is place some washers on the other side, and I'll put a hex nut in that's threaded all the way up. It's a little bit smaller, and I can pull this in now. And there we go, it's got a really nice fit. I'm going to take this out, and I'll put the other one in. Before I do this though, I'm going to finish the knob. I'm going to cut it up and then I'll make it a little bit more ergonomic. Now we can add a little bit of epoxy. I'll just add some to the bottom of this. And we can hammer this in place. And I'll add some more epoxy on top. And yes, this is a baby bottle nipple. Now we want to make sure that the knob is seated properly, so we'll take the two fence pieces like this and then crank down. And that should help straighten it up. Now we want to give this a little bit of time to cure, and not a full cure, just so that it's tacky. That way we can work on this. 5-minute epoxy will come back in about an hour. Now that that threaded knob is done, I'm going to slide the outer pieces, the outer fence, up to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to put a clamp on it right here. Now on this side, I'm gonna slide it over 3/4 of an inch. And this is a smaller piece. You'll find that in the materials list. So 3/4 there and 3/4 there. Add a clamp to this side. I can loosen this up and take the fence off. What I'm gonna do is just add some marks to the top of this so that I know how this lines up again. Now, let me go ahead and explain what we're gonna do here. The side that the knob is closest to is the side that we're gonna use as the jointer. And the reason for that is that when you joint something, you're not gonna go very tall. So the knob is not gonna get in the way. The reason that we do need to mark this side is that that bearing won't allow us to cut into the stock. So we need to make a mark on this and then cut this out the length of it on the bandsaw. What I'm gonna do is attach the fence and then mark this side. This is just for the jointer. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. With this cut out, I can go ahead and take the clamps off and I'll separate these two pieces so that I can mark this. I'm gonna go right outside the line a little bit, go up about there. If I slide this in here, it should slide in without any problems. I've got a little bit of headway on the top and the blade comes right down to the bottom. So I think that this is gonna work. With my lines lined up again, I'm just gonna put clamps on the outside. I'll grab the knob, pull it out, and flip it over. Now I wanna do the same thing on this bottom side. I'm gonna mark it and maybe cut out maybe 1.5 inches, I think, by maybe 1.5 inches. I'll grab my marking gauge. Now it's time to glue these up, and you have an option to attach this part with screws. Later on, you can always remove this piece if you've chewed it up really bad and replace it. But for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it all together. I'm gonna add my glue, but I'm gonna do it strategically. I'm just gonna add it to the blocks. I'm gonna be careful not to put it too close to the end, and I don't wanna get inside this groove here. Use a squeegee just to move it around a little bit. And then I'll use a little bit of salt on both sides just to keep it from sliding around. I'm also going to use a clamp on either side to press them together so that I know that they're flat, that they're flush with each other. We're not looking to squeeze all the glue out. We just want to make sure that there's enough even pressure that everything stays flat. We'll give this a little bit of time and we'll come back. It's pretty straightforward. When you're using a bit with the bearing, you can use any part of the cutting edge up to the bearing and the outer edge of the bit. So anywhere in here, you're gonna be good to go. Where this fence really shines is that it doesn't need a bearing at all. You'd never freehand a board with an exposed bit. There's nothing to guide the cut and it's just not safe. But with this fence, you can pivot it to expose exactly how much of the bit you need. Lock it in with a knob and add an F-clamp on the far side for reinforcement. And you've got a safe adjustable fence that works for any bit, bearing or not. Right now, we're gonna switch over to the opposite side, which is going to be the jointer side. We're going to use a sheet of aluminum to do this. Since the router bit is only this tall, we don't need to cover the complete width across the top of this. Instead, we're going to cut a section of this off that we can epoxy on here. Everybody's heard of using shears like this to cut this. The only problem that I have is that it tends to bend and twist, and we want to have a flat surface when we're done, but you can use a pair of tin snips to do this. I've got a couple blocks of wood here that I'm going to use to cut this. They're the exact same width as my aluminum, and you can use brass if you want to. What I'm gonna do is set my marking gauge at 1 inch, and now I'll set it for 3 inches. And this inside section here is gonna be the shim that I'm gonna add to my fence. I also wanna do the outside, so I'm gonna set this to 1/2 inch. I'll do one side over here, over here. So what I'll do now is add some screws in this so that I can pull this up tight, and I'm gonna cut this on the table saw. Aluminum cuts very well on the table saw, as does brass. I'll start this off by adding some countersinks on the outside. I'm just gonna do 3 on each side. As you can see, I've got it all sandwiched together now. Drilling these out, you're not gonna wanna use a brad point bit. I've got a titanium drill bit here, real cheap stuff, but it's a twist bit. To keep it together, I'm gonna add 1 screw for now. To cut this, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have the highest tooth blade that you have. I think this is a 40. You can go up to an 80 if you wanted to. That'll just give you a better cut overall. And there we go. My sides are just slightly rough, but that's okay. We're going to clean that up here in a second. To clean the little bit of a catch that's left, I'm going to use what I call an ugly chisel, which is just the crappiest chisel that you have. It's got some kind of edge on it. And I'll come in here and just scratch off that little bit that's on there. And that is absolutely cleaned up. It's dead flat. I'll do the other side. I'm not as worried about this side because I had to sand it. Now we'll check this against the fence. And that looks pretty good. I might be just a little bit too long, but that looks good so far. What I'm gonna do now is take the side that I want to be against the fence, and I'm gonna use some 240 sandpaper, 220 would work, maybe even higher than that would work fine. We just want something that the epoxy will stick to. And finally, we're gonna use a little bit of vinegar, water mix. This is 50-50. And I'll spray it on top. This just will clean up any kind of dust as well as any oil that's left behind. You want to make sure that you don't touch this after you've cleaned this up. I'll add my epoxy straight to the top. And now I'm going to flip this over and add it to the top. I want to make sure that I'm right up to that edge. I've given this a little bit of chance to set up, and I'm going to add my other pie mat to the top, as well as a block that's flat, and then I'll add some weight on top of that. We'll give this a little bit of time to set up and we'll come back. Using the jointer side of the fence is really easy now. I'll add my knob through the top, I'll put it inside the threaded insert, and now I'll just move the fence so that the bearing lines up with the aluminum. And the easiest way to do this is just to take a straight edge, get it lined up like that. Now I'll take an F-clamp and it just slides right on here and then it attaches to the bottom. We'll tighten it down and check again to make sure that it's lined up and rolling. If you look at this, you can see that there's just a little bit of snipe on the end. That means that my fence is a little bit too far back. I've stopped the blade and you can see that I've got a little bit of a gap right here. That tells me that I'm a little bit too far back and that I'm making too much of a cut. I fine-tuned this a little bit and you can see that I'm right up next to that fence, and that's exactly what I want for this to work. Now I do need to point out that I am off at the very end of this by 0.009. It could be that my plywood is just slightly bending on that one side, but as long as I keep the pressure right here and I push all the way through, that spot over here is not going to be a problem. I've laminated 3 pieces of wood together and I want to clean this up before I take it over to the table saw, and this is the way to do it. So let me show you how to joint this, which will be in the main video. It'll be in the description or at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and if you leave a comment, give a shout out to the patrons who help keep this going. And remember to keep making things.